this moment. And he takes it as arms rise around the Adelaide Oval. It's not over yet. But Adelaide are in front. And this crowd can't believe it. All eyes on Gordon O'Brien. Statesman, it's smothered by Brayshaw. Oh, the scenes as Brayshaw gets it high. It's all or nothing. All or nothing. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. The bell in the city of churches. What an upset.
Bit of an up and down season for the Adelaide Crows, as I am joined by Liam after a 7-win, 15-loss Adelaide season, finishing 15th overall.
Yeah, there was a bit of an up and down season. Everyone predicted them to be the Spooners of this year based off the season they had last year, not winning a game until around 13 or 14. Everyone thought they'd come in, do the same and not have the best of season, but they did surprise a few of us every now and then. They had some big wins, as that we'll go across in a minute.
Started 3-1.
They did, and everyone's like, Adelaide, they're going to push for top 10. I never thought they'd be finals. I thought they might have. Based at the start of the season, they could have pushed for the 10 to 12 rank, but everyone predicted where they'd finish up in the 15th position. And as we go through, what was their best win of the season that you saw?
Their best win of the season is actually going to come from round 1 for me. It was against Geelong, and Geelong never really looked in the game. They surged home late. Adelaide were up 38 points at halftime, kicked 73 points in a half. And everyone was sort of, what's happening? Geelong not the real deal, or but Geelong surged home, almost pegged it back, but Adelaide held on by 12 points in a home crowd frenzy at Adelaide Oval. That was probably their best win for me.
Yeah. For mine, I've actually gone somewhat different. I've gone up to round 10, where they defeated the, at the time, undefeated Demons by a point to hand them their first loss of the year. Nobody counted Adelaide in to win that. Everyone thought Melbourne was going to go 10-0 for the first time in 50-odd years. So to come out and defeat Demons, it was at home though, so it's a big home crowd, but gutsy effort from Adelaide, who weren't the best of teams, to defeat the best team in the comp this year.
Sure.
Now onto the downside. What did you have as their worst loss of the year?
Look, there's a couple I could have chosen from. They had some pretty poor performances, but I ended up going with, honestly, one of the better games of the year. There's been a lot of good games, but this was one of the best ones. The Hawks hosted Adelaide down in Launceston on Anzac Day, I believe it was. And the Crows sort of just took it out of the gates. They were up very, very comfortably at one stage. They kicked 10 goals to 4 in the second, and I think they were 16 goals without a point. Maybe even 17. 10 goals to 4 in the second, and ended up losing by 3 points after not kicking a goal in the last, finishing with 16-3.
There you go. Mine was different again. I had to go with round 17 against Essendon. They kicked the lowest score in their club's history, the lowest score ever at Marvel Stadium. They lost by 63 points, and kicking the 2 goals 9, I believe it was. Just didn't show up on the day, and as we said, I think it was the lowest score ever at Marvel Stadium. So following their own record, I think about 10 or so years ago. So it wasn't a great performance that day for them either.
Absolutely not. Now we'll move into the best and fairest. reality is it's already been released. They've had their night. Rory Laird won it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I'll get your top three, which we did write pre-night, so it is still valid.
At my number 3 posie, I had Rory Sloane. Another very solid season. By him as he does every year. Number 2, I feel like people are saying he might have been a snub in the All Australian team. And that's Paul Statesman. Great wing player for Adelaide. Averaged the 20 odd disposals.
26.
And again, 26, yeah, very solid off the wing for the Crom. And then at number 1, Rory Laird, just another absolute stunning season he had as he tears it up through the midfield, averaging about the 30 disposals a game. He's just an absolute superstar for Adelaide. What were your top 3?
Good. I went at 3. I had Sloane, as you did, but at 2, I had Ben Keys, who had a very, very solid year through the Adelaide midfield at times. He had the 28 disposals a game, and 1 I went with the obvious one in Laird as well.
Yeah. The next topic is, who was the most surprising player in your eyes? Who either exceeded expectations or who didn't quite get there? Who was that player for Adelaide this year?
I'm gonna go Riley Philthorpe from Adelaide. He, and it's in a bad way. I think the last few have been exceeded in a good way.
Yeah.
This one's not the best. He played the 14 games and only averaged about 1.3 a game. After being picked 2, he had high expectations all over him. He debuted in the Anzac Day match, I think it was.
5.
He did,
5.
and everyone's up and about. He's good, and never did anything since. Yeah, not the best performance for a debut season.
Yeah, definitely not. I've gone with someone a bit unusual, you could say the least, but Darcy Foggity. There was a stat that he was the most accurate set shot in the comp. He was kicking about 70% or something higher than that from set shot range, and he was probably the main target apart from Taylor Walker. But after Taylor Walker, obviously the scandals he went on, he's probably going to be their big forward in years to come. He's a great young player, very accurate from set shots. So yeah, high future for Darcy Foggity.
Him and Philthorpe can be
Dangerous.
Can be the next 1-2 punch in the AFL. Now, moving on to what they need to do for 2022 in this off season. What do they need to do? Who do they need to pick up? Trades, etc.
Let's go to the draft, pick up a good young player, and just develop all the young guys. I think they've got a decent list full of youth, so if they can just get them all and develop them all, I feel like Adelaide will go far in years to come. But I don't think anyone's on their trade radar and anyone's requesting a trade to Adelaide. Wouldn't think anyone would want to, but I feel just developing the young core is probably the main thing for Adelaide. Do you think they need to do the same, or?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't really think anyone else is going to want to come to Adelaide or go home to Adelaide. And if they did, they would probably go to Port, I would suggest.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to add. I think they just need to keep ticking over the games into the young guns.
Yeah. Now, predictions for 2022 ladder-wise. Are they going to jump? Are they going to stick where they are? Are they going to go down? Where do you see them heading?
I see them, just as a little hunch, as the worst team in the comp next year. I see them as the 2022 Wooden Spooners. I can't see them improving,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I can see North or someone like that improving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Adelaide going up, that's for sure, but I can definitely see them dropping.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. They're gonna stay the same. I feel like I'm gonna go the opposite end of you. I feel like they are just a teeny tiny bit better than North. I feel like North will be that 16th, 17th, and they're better than Gold Coast in my eyes still, and they're better than Collingwood in my eyes. So I feel like they'll stay the same, about 15th. But again, I see them anywhere between the bottom four. I feel like those four teams will rotate the bottom four for most of next year. Probably what I can see happening.
Yeah, cool.
Now, lastly, if Adelaide was a test, what would you be stamping on the front of that?
I would not be too harsh. I'd probably give it a B minus. So I think they exceeded expectations in a way because many people only had them winning 3, 4, maybe 5 games if they played some brilliant football somehow. But they came out and they won 3 of their first 4 and then obviously dropped off and only won 3 for the rest of the season. However, I think that it was a pretty solid season and there's a lot to like for Adelaide fans in probably 3 years' time, maybe. Yeah. What would you give them?
I'm going one grade below. I'm going for a C plus. They exceeded expectations, but again, they just dropped off. As you said, they won 3 of the first 4 and then won 4 from the next 18, I think it was. So again, they just slid down, but they do have some good youth. So not all doom and gloom. Just wait 3, 4, 5 years, Adelaide fans, and I'm sure we'll be back up in finals contention as we were a few years ago.
I will. Anything else to add, or are we all done and dusted for the Adelaide Crows for season 2021?
I think that's all for Adelaide this year. Just a bit of a meh season. That's all you can really say.
All right. I think that does it. So thank you all for watching and listening wherever you are. We hope you're enjoying your finals footy at the moment. And we will catch you tomorrow for the week 1 review of the finals and also Wednesday for the Hawthorn Footy Club season review, which will be very interesting.
For sure.
See you then.
See ya.